standing here ISPIM, teaching and coaching SIG, and I'm the one who invited Rui for the session. I'm very pleased for that, and I think I'm wishing you all the great event today, and thank you for those who are joining as well.
Thank you, Anna.
Next we have Kristen.
Just have to quickly find audio and video here. Yeah, I'm very excited. I work with Mural already, and yeah, I'm really excited to get to know some more tools.
Great. Thank you.
Fab. And Hans?
Hi, Hans, I'm from Belgium. I'm supporting some startups to get seriously started, and very much interested in Mural and whatever tools we have at our disposal right now to do a lot of things remotely.
Great, absolutely.
And Joshua?
Yeah, hello. I'm Joshua. I'm an American living in Germany. Just finished my innovation management master degree. Now I'm starting my own business, and interested to see how I can. In my studies, we learned some facilitation, but online is something new, and just always to get better in practice. So
right, perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Julia?
Hi, Rui. Hi, we met yesterday, virtually, of course. I am at IAVA Business School, Barcelona. I'm a professor there, and we've been using Mural and sort of process-based innovation tools to address the challenge set by clients for our MBA students over the last year. And it was very useful. So I would like to know more about how you're viewing it, and particularly I'm interested in the kind of graphical representation of the process.
Right, thank you.
Mareike?
Yes, hello everyone. I'm Mareike and I work at Fraunhofer IOF in Germany in employee development and organizational development. So I design quite a few trainings and workshops, and I'm looking forward to getting to know some new methods that go beyond just collecting points or yeah, something similar, you know, like the most known aspects of gamification.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, and Reynold?
Hi, I'm Reinhold. I'm working together with Mareike at the Fraunhofer IOF in Jena in Germany. And for us, Mural seems to be a really promising application for online collaboration. I just attended the other virtual facilitation group. I actually did a couple of Murals by myself, but I consider myself still as a beginner, and I really appreciate to bring together Mural approach with the gamification. Looking forward.
Thank you.
Perfect. And lastly, I think we have Irina, and I think that's everybody. Irina, sorry, you just joined. Everybody is just introducing themselves and their organization and what they hope to get from the session.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Sorry for the slight delay. Do you want me to introduce myself?
Sure, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, thank you. So my name is Irina. I'm from Portugal. I'm a professor, but also a consultant. So I have been in touch with this innovation for quite some time. And actually, I know Rui Patricio, and I've been in some of your previous sessions in ISPIM a couple of years ago. So basically, I would like to just to get some update about what you have been doing. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that is everybody now. Please let me know if there's anybody that hasn't introduced themselves.
Well, otherwise it's okay. We can start, and I think we are a very nice group of people, which I really consider the experts, and that I would like to have your participation, active participation, using Mural. This is not really a workshop about Mural. Anyway, I thought that it will be interesting for you to interact using Mural. And the goal is basically to understand and let you understand a bit about what is ideaChef, what is like this tool. And as Irina was saying, I mean, I started this in 2016, and ISPIM was the first spot where I have the chance to start discussing gamification of innovation. And I remember that in 2016, it was really hard to have people believing that this can be like, this could be like a very useful approach for innovation. Nowadays, it's becoming more popular, of course. There are a lot of people involved in the area, publishing articles and books and having a lot of workshops. And I'm really glad for this. And I hope that I can continue, publishing things that can be used by others. And so during the workshop, it would be possible to share with you some of my work and some of the publications where I have more explanation and where I have the chance to explain this in more detail about how different stakeholders are using this method and tool. And not just only universities, but also a lot of corporates. So let's start by, I started already by showing some pictures, and I think it's like a very good start. However, maybe in order to make it more interesting, I will share a small video. And this is something, are you seeing the video now?
No, not at the moment.
No.
No? All right. So this is like a session. It was like one of the first sessions immediately after we designed ideaChef, and I invited some of my friends, from Germany, from UK, from Italy, from Portugal, to give us some feedback about this tool could be used and could be applied in several areas of the innovation process. And then we start discussing possible collaborations. This is just to show you the dynamics and the way people really can interact using the tool. And what they are doing is developing an existing concept. So everything starts when we have already an idea, and we would like to improve the idea with contributions from a diverse team, people with different backgrounds that can really add value to the idea. And this is like, what I used to say is that this is like in between what we call idea generation, where we will start to generate some ideas, and the prototype phase. So it's really in between. It's trying to add value to the prototype phase, because we will have more chance to be more succeeded having already some discussion about the key issues, because it's like having 6 building blocks that people are discussing that I will introduce later on. But it's just like a snapshot about what is the tool. Now I will return. I will try to at least to follow the agenda and show you like a very short presentation about ideaChef. And the title is like converting these ideas into something that can be workable. We call it like a minimum viable concept, where we believe that the idea will be stronger enough at least to justify, to get the motivation for going through the prototype phase. And why it was really created. I mean, since I'm a professor, I'm academic as well, and I have a lot of background in working with the industries because I spent most of my career working in companies, some multinationals, and then I became entrepreneur. I developed my own companies, and now I'm back in academia and developing this work. But at least I understand that when designing something new, we need to show what is really adding value, not just to the practice, but to the theory. And so we were really looking for gaps in idea development. And we thought that creating this method, this gamified method and tool, can really enhance the motivation and involvement of users. That is like the employees, the innovation teams in the early stage of innovation. That is when there is a lot of problems, a lot of discussion. It's like the fuzziest stage of innovation. So it requires a lot of support from companies. And what we believe is that this kind of approach can really overcome some of the issues that we from our practice and from the theory, we understood that were really important, like the lack of structure and context, because somehow people, for instance, when doing like these service design workshops and design thinking, there is a lot of hype about what we are creating together during a work day or a small session, but sometimes it lacks the structures to go ahead with the work and to be more successful immediately after the workshop or the session, and also for the need for engagement. Why? It's basically because some of these tools and methods are really very interesting and very attractive for people to collaborate, but it's difficult to iterate over time. And you know that in most of the cases, we need to repeat. We need to have people completely involved and engaged in the process, because iteration is needed all the time. And so if it's not interesting for them to repeat, it's going to be very difficult to get a good output at the end. And the last thing is about, it's about management. And sometimes we discuss that a lot of people are, for instance, for design thinking and service design, are really very much, top-down approach. And it means that it's not coming from the team, is coming from the leadership. And I will show you some examples, and some of the publications that I was really able to create recently shows that people that are using gamification, they have the power also to conduct the process by themselves, having like a key role in self-managing the team, and this is creating some conflicts among them and with the leadership team. So, but this is something that we are also exploring in more detail in this research. And so what is really ideaChef? I try to understand this from the perspective of the users. So I'm always asking people to send me feedback about what you believe ideaChef is. And so there are some statements that I usually take for explaining this, but is a mix of like creative problem solving. Yes, absolutely, because we are also working with this to address concrete challenges, and most of these challenges I will have a chance to explain later on. And it's like a mix of this creative problem solving, design thinking or service design, and obviously some gamification approaches. And this is like interesting also to test and validate the ideas, because I was saying this is not something to generate the ideas, it's mostly for develop the idea, which means that we can also test some of the existing ideas. And this is like a game. So it's very important to understand that really people can really have the chance to fail. And that's why I'm saying that it's a safe to fail environment. And this is also very important for corporates that sometimes have some difficulties in adopting this kind of approaches. And from what I'm doing at university and with some companies, I understand that this can be applied to, well, a large range of challenges. And now we are having this thing about the digital transition, and this is something that can be interesting also to apply, because it's a way to develop the skill set of people that are going to be the drivers of change. So, but this can also be applied to other type of challenges like competition with the new players, and this is like something that is much more important now, but also to internal issues like how to identify talent and build new leaderships, and this can also be applied. And so the best fit, if you would like to organize a session or a training, as most of you are doing at your own organizations, we can use this not just to develop a product, a service, in this case, the service design area, but we can also develop the skill sets of people. It means that using the process of the tool, we can also improve our skills and develop our capabilities. And so that's why we are using this not just only in the innovation process, but also in the academia and also in a training environment, where we will have chance to develop this skill set in teams, in people, that are very useful for them, not just for innovation purpose. And so this starts by defining what is really the challenge. This is like the problem solving approach, but we need really to select an idea, at least the one that we feel it's more powerful, it has the potential to be implemented. And then we try to enrich the idea with contributions of a diverse team. So it's like these multidisciplinary teams that we create to develop the idea are now playing the tool at typical workshop environment. And this is like the phase 2, where we end up with what we call like a minimum viable concept, something that can be workable and can be used for later stages like the prototype. And so then we can make like a pitch of the solution, convincing others and convincing like the key stakeholders to support the concept and to provide the resources for making the prototype. And this is like a small representation about how we can use this in a more linear fashion, but you know that we can always go back and forward. It depends obviously about the time that we have, but for teaching purposes or for using this at university, we can be more linear and we can use these tools accordingly to the type of process, the type of stage that we are in. And so we need to understand who should be involved and what should be like the delivers of each phase using different kinds of tools. And my ambition is that we can conduct the whole innovation process using gamification tools, not just only ideaChef, of course, because now I'm aware of a lot of tools that are very interesting and can be applied and complementing this approach. And so this is like some comments about the experience people are having, and I'm approaching and having the chance also to work not only with corporates but with a lot of trainers, facilitators, and teachers and scholars that are very interested in the method, because there are a lot of people using this right now. I mean, it's like I've already 5 years in a row using this in different settings, mostly in Portugal, Italy, and Spain, but with a lot of universities and companies, with a lot of people using it repeatedly in a consecutive way, because they use it to develop the process, and also during their time at university, they have different courses using the game. And I also had the chance to, well, I was saying to publish a lot of research, and I will show you some of the publications, some news and demos. And I mean, as Irina was saying, I started this at ISPIM in 2016, but then I had a chance to go over, I mean, different countries, and not just in Europe, but in Brazil last year. And I'm receiving a lot of requests from all over. But I mean, it's something that I started with the company, and then I'm doing it by myself, which is a bit difficult to address all these questions. Still, I have my contacts here, and in case they would like to interact, it will be a pleasure to provide you more information. But this was like, I hope it will not take too much time, and then I will return to Mural. Okay, so I hope you are seeing Mural now.
No, it's still on your presentation. Oh yeah, we see Miro now.
All right, okay. So in case you would like to take more time, and there are some videos on Facebook, you can open the Facebook. There are a lot of pictures, different sessions. I mean, I was not really able to collect all different data from different sections for all over the world, because sometimes we have some issues with data and data protection. So most of the corporates I'm working with, they do not allow us to show this at Facebook. But anyway, I mean, we still have a lot of pictures from sessions that I'm using. And I would like just to give you like just this small case to show you how it works. It was in a session that I did in Milan, because I teach there at strategic design master, and I work with a group of students addressing a societal challenge from Milan municipality. And so the challenge was to create, like, we call it like infrastructure to accommodate a lot of people that were arriving at Milan. So Milan is a great hub. And so there are people traveling from all over to Milan to work there. And so there are a lot of expats. And the municipality was really trying to understand how really they could accommodate everyone using the infrastructures that they already exist. So old buildings and things that, I mean, were not being efficiently used for this purpose. And they challenged the university to come up with new concepts. And so this team create like a concept that was like a co-living. I hope to understand that is what is like a co-living in the context of co-working, But in this case, they apply the concept of co-living for expats. So, and they create the concept using the method and tool, ideaChef. And then I was saying that there were like 6 building blocks about the way that you can turn the idea into a workable concept or a prototype. And so they discussed the different areas that we believe that are important to have like a more face-to-face conversation, because when we have this kind of environment, it's easier for us to get consensus. And this is like something that is really important. And if during the afternoon, during like the workshop time, we will have the chance to get consensus about the basics of the solution, this will be very important because it will speed up the process, and we reinforce the concept with contributions from everyone. And immediately after, and because we have like, we call it like, a storytelling process where we can take the contributions from the board and create like a story. So what we teach is how to extract information that we discuss randomly, because this is like a game process, into something that can be like a story that clearly shows what the team would like to provide as the concept. And this is like the service design proposal for creating the concept. And that is like a couple of lines. And then, because, I mean, this is like a design approach, we try that people will also include some images, and the Bosque Vertical in Milano, it's like a icon now for everyone that's interested in these new concepts of workspace innovation. And so they complemented the wording with images, and then they will be able to make a greater pitch to the municipality at the end. And so that's the type of work we can do with ideaChef, and having all this facilitation. And this can be also, you can also read some of the publications. If you like, I can send you the links. And I published some of these projects, I mean, with the universities and with a lot of corporates in international journals. Some of them, I believe you know quite well. And also, I published in service design conferences and design and innovation conferences like IPDMC and ServDes, and so that's a lot of things that I can share with you in case you are interested. It will be a great pleasure also to discuss things and to build on this work, going to different stages of research and also things that I'm interested in doing with people that are interested in the area, is to develop common concepts. So if you have an idea in mind and we would like to go further with your idea, and you think that I can add value by using some of the things that I'm doing, we can complement each other and trying to design something new that can really add value either to the service community, research community, and to companies. And so that's basically what I would like to show you now. And maybe it's time to, as I was planning in the agenda, to ask you, you are the experts, and to go over 2 exercises that I believe now we will have to make it faster, about the ideaChef and what, like, the relationship between ideaChef and service design and innovation. And so I prepared these 2 exercises. We will start by the first, And that's the time now that I will ask you to start interacting with us. And for the ones that will understand a little bit more about Mural, this is the time, right? So, and I initially tried with Georgia to create this more, I mean, making this more interactive by allowing you to enter at Mural and doing the exercise by yourselves using Mural tools and everything that is at your disposal. But because we have like a lack of time, it will be more difficult to have people, I mean, in just 20 minutes to work collaborative on the board. So we would like that you place your contributions on maybe here. I think Georgia is going to collect this immediately after.
Type your answers into the chat box, and then I can.
Oh yes, that's it. You can insert on the chat, and then we will collect this. And so the first exercise, and now that at least you have a better idea about what is ideaChef, I would like that you try to explore the relationship between ideaChef and the service design approaches that you are aware that you are using already, and that you can help us by defining what in this kind of a relationship you like at ideaChef, what you wish. I mean, I will make you some examples like this. So it'll be like this. I like the possibility to fail without any risk. It can be like something that you are really appreciating by having ideaChef, or something that you wish. So I have the chance to involve a diverse team and that are distributed teams eventually. But this is like a limitation of a board game. So we need to understand how really we can overcome these issues. Or you can say that, what if you could use ideaChef tomorrow with online tools? And what I'm preparing now, of course, is like, I mean, bridging this gap and trying to come up with a solution that can have like the board game interacting with Mural or with other tools that we are exploring to make it possible to have a distributed team working collaborative in this process. And so what I would like is that you start coming with some thoughts, and that we can maybe we can then collect this using Mural. But I will ask you that at least you provide some views about these 3 questions. I like, I wish, what if, on the chat. And then we will copy paste this to Mural. So maybe we can spend like 5 minutes doing this exercise. And
Rui, I have a question. I don't know if you can clarify, because I get very clearly the reason for the chef and the strategic idea, how it fits with design thinking, but I haven't seen the function of it. Like, I don't know what are the different elements of it. So maybe you can explain a little bit about that, because it's difficult to explain what I like about it if I don't know exactly what it is.
You are completely right. And I was really,
thank you.
I skip it because I really prepare some videos, but sorry, I'm just trying to show you this. So I hope that with these videos we'll clarify everything to you, okay? And this was the first video, not the one that I would like to play now. So please let me know if you are seeing the video now.
Yes.
All right, all right. So this is like a setting. It's like a corporation that are using ideaChef concept for onboarding purpose. So these are the ones that are going to be the next trainees of Novartis. So this is like a global program. They started, I think, like 4 years ago. And they are really inviting people, the brightest students in Portugal. And I think that they are doing this all over the world. And trying that people can work collaboratively and addressing specific challenges that Novartis defined. And they find out that ideaChef can be like a tool and a method using for this particular purpose. And they, as you can see, they were observing people playing, understanding how they react to change and also to situations that involves discussion and the need to reach consensus in a very short time, and also the way they could express and communicate their ideas to the others. And they have done it in a workshop format. It was a long day where at the end they were able to pitch the ideas. And I was very glad because the idea that won this competition in Portugal was invited to present the project in Switzerland, and they were the winner of the competition there as well. And so I believe that this can really illustrate a bit the dynamics and the way people are working. But to be more specific, I would like to show you some other images from what we have as a tutorial. We at IAD, at my university, we have people using it. And so we decided to record like a tutorial video to go into more detail about different steps of the process and the different elements that people can use to promote discussion and to develop the concept further. So you can watch these videos. I mean, I can send you the links, at least the ones that are publicly available to everyone. But I will show you the other concept. Okay. Let me see if I can show you the other video. Okay. So this is the other video that I was saying that we recorded and we prepared this for other teachers that are interested in using the method and the tool, because it explains how we prepare this. And we played this game with a group of designers. I mean, they are students from Master in Design, Product Design. They are working with concepts to support the refugees. And it was something very interesting because we also understand that we can apply this to different type of challenges, not just for corporates or creating a product or a service, but that we can have different kind of things that we can create and work together, because this is like a method. So it can be generalized, it can be applied to different kind of situations. And so this is like the way it works. I mean, there are different elements. People are working in teams, typically like 4 up to 6 people, and they use the elements. They have this randomly process of rolling the dice, because they ask questions about different kinds of parts of the process of innovation. We do not start by defining the users or discussing what should be the solution. We try to promote discussion in these back and forward movements that will simulate the interaction that is needed to understand better the process and to trigger people for views that somehow cannot be understood in a more linear fashion. And that's why we use the dice, and we roll the dice. We introduce this randomly process by working with people, and this is like the divergent phase. Then we collect these contributions and we place this into the board in the different areas. We call it like the 6 building blocks. And then we will have a process where we will try to define the best contributions, because we, during this process, we can also evaluate the contributions of each other by giving points. And in fact, we introduced this in a very collaborative way, where people can have like a peer assessment process, but it's like a blind review like we use in papers when we are doing this evaluation, in order to avoid conflicts among people. So it's like a blend review process for discussing in a peer review session, but then we come up with something that can be like it's like the screening of the whole team about what is like the best contributions. And then we can use this to start telling the story, because we will start by the contributions that received more consensus. And that's the way that we start designing this. And this is like, and the last video, let me just try to share this, is also to show you a different type of session. Okay, and this was like at Polyme, where I was teaching, and just to give you like a better understanding about the number of teams that can work with ideaChef. At the same time, we were like 3 facilitators, and we have over 70 students from all over the world. It was a very interesting project.
Wow.
That we are doing for European Space Agency, for designing concepts for the aerospace, for clothes for the astronauts, exercises for them, and it was very, very interesting also to apply the concept with these brilliant people from all over. And so I hope at least now you will have a better clue about what are the processes that we are using, what are the elements.
Yes, it does help a lot. It really clarifies
yes,
a lot.
thank
And
you
the last
for your
project you
comments.
showed with 70 people, impressive. I had 30 at the most in one session of design thinking, but 70 is must have been quite a challenge.
Yes, but it was very rewarding. Even now I'm receiving feedback from people there that were playing. And so maybe now we can start by interacting a bit. And the 2 exercises, time is over, but the first was like to explore this relationship, and the other was like asking you the questions. So you are the experts. So I would like to capture what you think about, what should be, how might we use ideaChef in this type of scenarios, like entering in new customer segments, or integrate ideaChef with other tools from the service design tool set, or how to turn ideaChef into like a digital game. That is something that I'm now addressing. But of course, I would like to understand your views and your contributions for this. So I know that time is going fast, but maybe you can start by at least providing some feedback about what could be like the best fit. And then what I promise is that if you start placing your suggestions and posted it on the system that we will collect on the chat, then I will copy paste your comments and I will give away the board more completed for you at the end. Okay, so we will do my homework immediately after. So please spend 5 minutes and try to send us back some comments about these 3 topics: exploring the relationship between ideaChef and other service design approaches that we are using, and what you will like, wish, and what if.
We do already have some good comments in the chat, Rui, for I like, I wish, and what if. So would you like me to sort of send them over to you to pop into the board, or what's the best way? Would you like to do it after the session?
After the session, after the session, because I think now we need to continue, and maybe I'm going for the next exercise, because I will have more time for doing it. And for the ones that really love Mural, I'm using this for a long time, because when I started doing these projects, I'm Portuguese. I'm living in Lisbon. Well, actually, I'm from Porto. I'm living in Porto. I'm working in Lisbon, and I'm traveling often to Milan. So I really needed to have tools that can really support the work that I was doing with remote teams. And even now, with this pandemic, the first project, and it was a very interesting project that we did with more than 100 people from 15 countries all over the world, from China to the US, was also done remotely using these tools. So it's like fantastic. And this is something that is really helping us a lot to collaborate and to be really successful in delivering things that otherwise it would be so difficult. Okay, so if you already completed this and provided the feedback for the best fit, just try to come up with something for the questions. And for you to understand how I'm going to do this, I'm just going to pick up different contributions that you are now starting to provide on the chat, and then I will try to use this method. I will try to organize these questions in groups, okay, like this. So imagining that, okay, how might we, in the topic of market or going into the market, so we will try to group this accordingly to the different topics that we believe are more important from your perspective. And then, if you will have more time, I will ask you to vote on the most promising questions, and using Mural, just to give you just an explanation. It could be like this, okay? If you use this voting session, it's possible to do it through Mural. So in case we will have more time for the workshop, I will have asked you to do that. I mean, using the voting session, where we can have like a ranking, making like a prioritization of these questions, voting on the most important, and then after grouping these, and then we can discuss, we could discuss the results at the end. And so it will be like a very easy way of collaborating and ending up with something that we can use later on for the strategy and also for implementing ideaChef in other settings. And this can be also something that I would like to return to you as soon as I have more comments from your side. And I know, Georgia, if people are already, if participants are already putting some comments here.
Yeah, we have quite a lot.
All right.
So I can send them all to you on email.
All right. All right. So, and because time over, I would like just for the conclusions to show you another exercise that is not obviously possible to run today, but is something that I would like to have support from the experts and from the service design community, because we would like to launch like a version of ideaChef online. And so the first thing that we would like to understand is what should be the positioning, because you know that my background is industry. I was an entrepreneur. I was very much connected with IT. I mean, with telecommunications, with software. I really love technology. And when we start designing ideaChef, initially it was like our purpose was to design a digital game, not the physical, not a board game. I mean, I was a little bit like astonished when we started understanding by ourselves that for this purpose, for the development of the idea and for getting this consensus in a more collaborative way, it should be better to use a physical tool. And we were really surprised for this, you know, and so we gave up the idea of creating the online game and we focused on this. And I believe that it was a very interesting journey. However, well, we are now more often than 5 years working with ideaChef board game. And we realized that we need to complement the board game experience with something digital. And we have already in mind how it can be positioned along the innovation process and different stages of innovation. But obviously, I'm really open and interested to collect feedback from the community and also to understand if I could also have other support from other universities or other experts that we would like to make this available for companies and for the whole community. And that's basically the end. And so I'm really appreciated by having such a group of experts and brilliant people watching this presentation and providing such a generous feedback that I'm going to use to complete the board and to return to you as a takeaway of this journey. Thank you so much.